Good morning, everybody. So this is the companion video to the one I made the other day about our ChatGPT plugin access. And today we're going to be looking at just a first run of being able to integrate with Zapier. And Zapier is a secondary service that can parse data or grab and help kind of exchange and move around data. And it's one of the featured plugins for ChatGPT. And as you guys may or may not have learned, we have access to plugins, early access. And so, first video, I talked about just what plugins was, what it was going to give us access to. And this one, I am going to fumble around in Zapier and kind of show you guys what you might be able to do within ChatGPT using Zapier to help your real estate business. And I'm pretty excited. I am by no means a Zap guru. That would be Mark, but I was able to build a Zap and it's really cool. So very first off, I just went ahead and in ChatGPT, I asked it, how do I even start building out a plugin to send an email? And that's the ultimate goal for this specific example. And I asked if I needed to perform some setup, and it gave me a really nice list. So this was really great. Obviously, utilize ChatGPT, ask it to help you out and really leverage itself. So I got access to all of this. It gives me, a 4-step process for doing that. I need to connect Zapier to my ChatGPT account. That makes sense. You can do that by going to OpenAI's Playground, so platform.openai.com. And then in your settings, under your API keys, they give you access. Now, obviously, the keys are grayed out so that you can't see all of my API keys. But that would be where you would go. If you need to, you can create a new key, and then you can integrate that into Zapier. Now, when you're building out that Zap, that's going to be where you integrate that. And the other thing that I did just on my research was I went ahead and I went to Zapier and I searched up whether they had any articles yet about their ChatGPT integration. And they did. So this was a pretty short article, but it just talks about what is ChatGPT plugins, a little bit behind the scenes of the tech, and then what is possible. So the possibilities, just from the initial, them thinking about what can you even do with it is really cool. So first thing that they suggested you could do is you could send chat messages to your team. So now imagine if a lead comes into your guys' pipeline and ChatGPT automatically recognizes it and sends out a message to your team. Hey, we've got a new lead. Now, this is going to help with that speed to lead concept. Now, I know a lot of teams utilize some backend AI to already do that. And if that's the case, that's awesome. This is just another tool in your tool belt that you can utilize for things like Team or Slack or things of that nature. You can just really leverage Zoom, and you can really, leverage Zapier, and you can leverage ChatGPT. I'm currently on Zoom. That's why I said it. The next thing is writing and sending emails to prospects. Now, this is the concept that I'm going to be kind of showing you what I was fumbling around through in Zapier myself. And I'm going to show you guys just a quick, walkthrough of how one would do that. And then after that, you can also add, update, and search for database items. That's really cool. Because I know for a lot of us, our CRMs get so filled and so compacted with information, with data, with content, and just pieces, right? Sometimes it's really difficult to be able to find all of those things. So the ability to search a database and find those utilizing ChatGPT, I think that is going to be incredibly powerful. Now, imagine if you knew that you were working with a contact and you're like, shoot, I know that I've talked to them about their favorite pizza toppings, but I can't quite remember what that is. Well, this is a really great opportunity where you can leverage ChatGPT to help you find that within your database if you've taken that note and you've recorded it. So really cool things right there. So with all of that being said, let's kind of pull up Zapier and let's look at what we've got going on. So I'll drag this over. Now in my Zapier account, I just went and created a new Zap. Now, the very first thing that you have to do is you have to make sure that Zapier has access to your email account. In this case, I'm using Gmail. So I just plugged in my Gmail, I signed in, and the integration was pretty seamless in that part. And then it asks me for the account. That's Cody at workflowsecrets.info. And I tied that together. And then the trigger is what thing happening is going to help trigger the Zap to take off. So in this case, I want to write an email or receive an email and send back a response from ChatGPT. And we're going to talk about the negative downsides to that in just one second. But in that case, I have inbox, and then I tested it, and it validated that my email was good to go. So then now we have our trigger, or what thing is going to happen so that Zapier can make something else happen. So action, Zapier, result, right? And that is where I have the trigger from Gmail having the result or the action of a conversation in ChatGPT. So at first, all I had to do was set up that ChatGPT. That's where I clicked on ChatGPT. It asked me for that API key that I just showed you guys, where you can find that. Again, if you need to create a new one, just create a new one. You can have up to, I think, 5, maybe 7 working at the same time. I'm pretty sure they can double up as well. But your API keys are kind of little sacred tokens. So I would encourage you, don't ever share them publicly. And that's why I grade them out on our side of the screen. I'm not going to show you guys what the API looks like here, but that is basically the backend conversation that Zapier and ChatGPT are having, so that they know that it's a secure line they can exchange communication from. Now, obviously, that's why we want to keep that a little bit close to our chest, is because imagine if someone with ill intent decided they wanted to hop in on that conversation and start feeding in weird information. That's just it's a no-go, right? So we successfully installed that. And then after that, I have my account that is plugging in through ChatGPT, and we're basically integrating Zapier and the account together. So now those are tied, and all of this is happening well. Now, from here, it asks you, it knows that you want to send an email, and it asks you what you would like to do. And so in this case, anytime an email comes to my email address, Cody at Workflow Secrets, I want to have the ChatGPT 3.5 Turbo model receive that, process it, and then at that point, it is going to send a response. Now, this is a great opportunity for us to talk about my biggest word of advice, and it's the word discernment, right? It's like my action word for pretty well every video, because I think it's so important that we talk about it. Now, I also like to talk about the fact that ChatGPT is in fact something that could be very dangerous. It is a pointy object, and it is our job as the prompt engineers, or the people who are using ChatGPT, to make sure that pointy end is facing forward so that we don't hurt ourselves, right? And we as a community need to kind of hold vigil that. Now, if I am just having ChatGPT receive an email, understand, comprehend, and send a reply, how are we applying discernment? I don't think we really are. And so what that could possibly lead to is a poor customer experience. Now, imagine if we worked so hard to bring in and gather and nurture and kind of build a relationship with a lead, moving them from maybe even just a cold lead all the way up to a warm or even a hot lead, right? And then ChatGPT's integration was set up, and that conversation with them was giving inaccurate information or giving information that didn't quite sound like us. Now we've lost them, right? So there is a big warning on this feature right here, because with great power and being able to do that, speed of being able to process that, we do run the risk of actually having ChatGPT kind of kick us in, sweep off our feet. And then we're not helping ourselves. We're not making life easier. We just burned a bridge with a lead that we'd worked to build a relationship with. So I like to talk about the fact that ChatGPT can make our lives easier as real estate agents, but we need to be very careful because just because it can make our life easier in the process of doing things, we as real estate agents need to apply discernment into how it's doing that. We need to be the pilots of this ship, right? We need to make sure that we are applying the human touch to everything that we send out, whether it's communications, whether it's how we're building out resources. And as real estate agents, we probably are experts in a field of real estate, whether it's luxury living, whether it's condominiums, whether it's first time home buyers. There's something that makes you incredibly unique as a real estate agent. And you can leverage ChatGPT to really enhance that experience for the people you're called to help. But you have to be really careful because if you just allow ChatGPT, like I guarantee quite a few real estate agents are going to do, they're going to press the easy button. This is it right here. You found the easy button. You're going to press it because when you press it, you can't control it. And if you can't control it, man, it's going to get hard. So that's my word of warning. And, I don't want to really kick a dead horse on that one. I think you understand that there's a lot of potential for, just ruining really great relationships. And we as real estate agents, as we are able to leverage this, we are going to be able to focus more on building those relationships and doing the things that we just as humans are going to be inherently better at. So this is one of them. But now that I've kind of got that off, it's going to send an email too. It's going to use the model. The temperature is all about how complex or how generalized these different pieces of content are going to be. And like it says, a higher temperature, like a 0.8 up to all the way up to like a 1 is going to be more random. Lower value is going to be more focused. So how sporadic, how bursty is this conversation going to be. So they preset it to 1. You can adjust all of that. And then it's going to ask assistant instructions. These instructions are, you are a helpful assistant. So think back to when we were looking at ChatGPT 4 in the playground, you were able to state the goal or the focus that ChatGPT is taking on, this persona, right? So you are a helpful assistant. It is going to assume in its own like understanding of its role in the ether that it's an assistant for a real estate agent. And we could refine that. You are a helpful real estate agent or a real estate assistant. And just giving it understanding of, okay, what am I? What is my role in this moment so that it knows what hat to wear in that moment. And then this is the name of the user. So in this case, we would actually just provide our name. It says we recommend setting this as something like user. I'm personally not 100% sure. This would be where we would want to play around. And truthfully, the first email I would encourage you to send would be sending it to yourself and make sure that this process works if you decide to go this route, because again, that's a little confusing to me. It is an auto field, so clearly there is something that we can do there. Again, feel free to experiment. Assistant name, you could name the assistant, you could call it assistant. Again, feel free to explore. Those are the two nuances that truthfully I'm just not 100% sure. I kind of just left them as defaults for the moment so that I could understand or just kind of gain understanding of the overall Zap build. Once we have the Zap build, we can kind of go from there. And then memory key is the unique value. It will allow the assistant to continue the conversation. So in this example or this memory key, basically it's asking how long would you like this chat to remember what it was communicating about? Is it going to be essentially a new chat every time you have a conversation? Is it going to be more like a chat bot where it's going to be able to give you some back and forth and utilize the history? Think about like in ChatGPT, maybe we were having a conversation with a chat thread versus having just a new chat every single time where it doesn't really have that context. So you can enter text here. You can use the insert data drop down. they said we recommend something that won't change over the length of the conversation, like user's email address. If you leave it blank, the assistant will not remember the conversation. So for this moment, I just left it blank, and then you can hit that. Now from here, you can test this. When I tested it initially, it pulled back that it was not working. And when I went to troubleshoot it, it sent me to a troubleshoot error in Zapier, which was not as helpful as I would like. Again, I think because this is so new as far as plugins, I got early access. And Zapier's probably not seen a whole lot of this. They don't specifically have a help article devoted to it yet. I'm sure it's going to come, especially by the time everyone has access. But in the comments, I would love to know if you got early access to plugins and you were able to successfully build Zaps, and you found this video and you were interested in watching it. Maybe you understand what I could have done wrong, but because of that, I am not going to, in this video, show you guys the result of this live interaction. But man, this is, like I said, this is me learning how to utilize and leverage ChatGPT. While I do it, I'm focusing it through the lens of real estate, so we can just have a conversation. I am not an expert. I don't claim to be an expert. I think anyone who says they're an expert, seeing as ChatGPT has been out for 5.5, almost 6 months, is probably leading you astray. And I think I'm an enthusiast. I use ChatGPT every day, but I'd just be leery of that because I think that there's a lot of hucksters out there. But after that, we can, troubleshoot that error if we figure it out. I'm not going to spend the time going through this troubleshooting process with you right now, but let's say we troubleshoot the error. It tells me that the account was wrong, and then you just go back, you fix the account, you come back, you retest it, and it'll be good to go. For this moment, just skip test. It verifies that I do in fact want to skip test. And then I can either leave this as a draft or I can publish the Zap. And once I publish the Zap, we are off to the races. And that's as simple as it is, building out a Zap, setting it to trigger from Gmail through ChatGPT. You can isolate what kind of trigger you want it to have within ChatGPT. And Bob's your uncle, as they would say. I think that's a little bit of an older phrase, but that is how you utilize ChatGPT through the plugins integration of Zapier to build out some really cool stuff, as well as some options that you have. Now, again, this is me just kind of playing around. I'm probably going to try and diagnose this error off video. I just don't see the need for me to sit here and click around and try and figure it out while I'm on. And I don't think that that's a valuable use of your time, but this gives you a really great idea of what potential we have coming to us with ChatGPT's plugins integration and how you can integrate with Zapier to just make an incredible experience. Like I said, I think when we're building out this emails integration, the conversation back and forth utilizing ChatGPT, personally, I don't know that I would use it. Maybe if it is a process that you've built out, a system of steps that is for cold new leads that come from a specific location, and its entire focus is just to nurture it from maybe a ice cold vanilla ice all the way up to like a lukewarm. Perhaps having something like that is a little bit better, but man, I have a gut feeling that there are going to be a lot of agents that press that easy button, and what it's going to do is it's going to destroy some really great, really infant stage relationships, and they're going to be like, man, why is no one working with me? Why do all of my leads run away? And it's because people can generally speaking sense the lack of the humanality, and there is still some nuance to it, and that's why we have to apply discernment. But other than that, man, there's some really cool stuff coming. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope this has been informational. Let me know in the comments, are you currently playing with plugins? Did you get early access? And or if you found this after plugins has been launched for everyone, what are some of the things that you've been able to build out using plugins? And do you currently use Zapier? Other than that, let me know in the comments as well what you are working on in ChatGPT. Like I said, I am always looking for some content ideas that I can build videos to share with you guys about kind of fumble through. I'm learning myself, and we are applying it to our business. We're using ChatGPT to build out tools for real estate agents to help you find greater success. And it's really whatever that means for you. Is it more deals? Is it more time with your friends and family? Is it picking up a hobby that maybe you let slip a couple of years ago? Whatever success means for you, I would love to help you find that. We have a really cool piece of software that is going to be coming out very soon. And if you guys will humor me, I would love to share with you all about it. So it is a systems builder for real estate agents. And essentially it's leveraging AI and ChatGPT to create systems for you. And it's going to do that in a way that just makes it faster than anything you've ever done. So this is kind of a first look at it, but it's going to be a desktop and a mobile application. I am actually leveraging ChatGPT to write out the code, sending it to my development team, and then they are building out all of the infrastructure. They're kind of fixing out my spaghetti code, if you will. It's kind of a fancy way of saying that I am not good at writing code. But you are going to be able to share some information about yourself. With that, you can then focus on, is it a conversions, an operations, a retentions, or an experience-based system that you would like to build? The core strategies at Workflow Secrets, this is one of our frameworks for how you build the 4 core systems within your real estate business. Once you figure that out, it's going to allow you to build out specific things based on the category that you select. I think for our MVP that we're releasing, it's just going to start with conversions, and we are going to have a series of different things. So let's say you wanted to build out a lead magnet. Then it's going to push over to different types of lead magnets. You can select what type of lead magnet. And then after that, it's going to take all that it knows about you and your business and your systems and everything that you do and how you communicate with your customers. And it's going to build that lead magnet out. And it's going to say, here you go. Here's a lead magnet. Go ahead and take it, apply discernment, and start using it. And I am just so excited because I think that this is going to make your life so much easier. I've had so many agents tell me that they know they need systems. They know that their real estate business would be better if they had all of these pieces in place, but they don't know where to start. And so this is my attempt at solving that question. Where do I start? And the other half of agents, they sit there and they go, man, I know I need those systems. I even know where to start. I know I need to have a conversion system. Man, I get there and I sit at the computer, I pull up a Word document, and it's like everything I know in my brain just escapes like a vacuum into space. And that is hopefully going to solve that issue as well. So if that is something that kind of piques your interest, if that's something that excites you, we are looking to go into beta very, very soon. And I am looking for 20 tech-empowered real estate agents that would beta test it completely for free. All I'm asking for in exchange is that you share your thoughts, your feelings, your opinions, how it worked, how it helped you. Did it help you find success? Was it faster than how you do things like that, that can help me just get a better understanding of where we need to go with that. And we're going to be launching beta very soon. I don't have a place to send you, but if you're interested in joining the beta, C.O.R.E, C-O.D-Y at workflowsecrets.info is my email. Send me an email, explain to me why you're the tech empowered real estate agent that is perfect for that beta test. And if we still have spots, I would love to put you onto it. Otherwise, we're going to be rolling out the MVP, the first round of this application very, very shortly. My goal was to hit by the beginning of the month or by the end of the month in April, but it is May 1st, and we didn't quite get there. That's sometimes how technology goes, unfortunately. I can work as hard as I can, and the fact that I can build out spaghetti code, my developers still have to grind through that as well. And what can you do? But man, I've got a really cool tool coming to you guys very shortly. And if you don't want to beta test it, if you'd rather wait until the product's ready to go, it'll be launching shortly after that beta test. I'll probably give a 2-week beta, and then we'll roll to public. And you guys will hear much more about this, but I appreciate you listening to it, and I hope it gets you excited. Email me, Cody at workflowsecrets.info. If you are interested, I'll throw that email in the description just in case. And otherwise, I hope that you enjoyed this little deep dive. Not a deep dive, it's a shallow dive. It's a medium water dive. It's like a 7.5 foot into the pool, like deep enough to dive, but not so deep that you were diving into a well. Dive into Zapier and how to use the plugins in ChatGPT to integrate with it. But I hope you're having a really great day, and I will talk to you very soon.